This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. For 125 years, Nordstrom has been part of your story. The stylist who found the perfect outfit for your big interview. The first pair of walking shoes for your 1-year-old. The tomato soup you shared with your sister at the cafe. These are the moments that make Nordstrom, Nordstrom. Big or small, we're here for all of it. Celebrating 125 years with new moments still ahead. Discover it all in Nordstrom stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Yeah. Might want to download that Exxon Mobile Rewards Plus app. Yeah.
Are you the Exxon Tiger?
I am. Yeah, new users can earn $10 in points, $5 after your first purchase and $5 after your second. That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
It is.
Well, hey, you get on that download, buddy.
I will.
Loading. Download the Exxon Mobile Rewards Plus app and join today. Exxon. Trust the Tiger.
For details, visit ExxonOffer.com.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, Stephen Wallis. In today's episode, we welcome back Pakistan cricket expert Leena Moin Aziz for part 2 of Inside Pakistan Cricket, as we look back at yesterday's first day of the second test between England and Pakistan at Lord's. We review the action from day 1, look back at Pakistan's terrible performance in the first test at Headingley, as Leena described it, before she gazes into her crystal ball and looks ahead to the rest of the second test. Can Pakistan fight back in the 3-match series at their lucky ground, Lord's, where they won in 2016 and 2018? Hello, Leena. Thanks for joining me again for Inside Pakistan Cricket Part 2.
You're welcome, Stephen. It's always great, having a nice cricket chat with you. So always fun.
In this episode, we're going to review day 1 at Lord's. I was lucky to be there yesterday. We're going to look back at the first test and then look ahead to day 2 and the rest of the series. To recap for listeners who are joining us, at the close of day 1, England were 248 for 9 off 56 overs. We had a delayed start. It was a good toss to win for Pakistan. And in my notes, it's a lucky ground also for Pakistan, Leena.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a fabulous test match. If I don't go too much back in time and I only go to 2016, it was a fantastic test match. I mean, Misbah as a captain got a century, and then we had that magical spell by Yasir Shah, who got 10 wickets in the match, and practically those two won us the match. And there were some cameo performances here and there. But if I have to talk about lucky grounds, Lords has been really lucky for us. And also players, they're very, very eager to showcase their skill sets and get their name on that leaderboard, honors board at Lords. And, because every time any team passes through that long room, they would always see your name if you've done well as a bowler or as a batsman. So there are lots of things that inspire, lots of elements that inspire a cricketer to do well at Lords. And then we as Pakistanis have done well at Lords.
Yes, I was looking in 2018, you beat England by 9 wickets.
Yeah, that was a massive victory. I mean, a big victory. I was there. I did the Headingley test for a private, for a foreign channel, and I was lucky to watch the test matches. So yeah, fabulous for Pakistan.
Before we talk about yesterday's action, skipper Babar Azam was back, and he effectively replaced the previous captain.
There was a lot of talk, and I think Atherton or Nasir Hussain, one of them was saying, I think Nasir Hussain was saying that you never know with Pakistan, someone who's leading you the previous test match could be out and replaced in the next test match. And he wasn't, he probably was saying that half jokingly, but it actually happened. I was having a discussion at home, and maybe I would have replaced not Salman, but maybe Saud Shakil. But you never know with Pakistan, and that's exactly what they did. They replaced the previous Test match captain. But the reason I would have still gone with Salman, because he's a fabulous slip fielder. And in England, slip fielding is imperative. And had we fielded better yesterday, we would have been batting, some part of last evening. So, that's why I would have gone with Salman, purely because of his fielding.
Were you surprised that there weren't any other changes to the team?
Yeah, I was. I was thinking, if I were the captain or the coach, which changes would I have made? And I would have maybe made one or two others. But then I understand why they didn't make so many changes, because they're already one down in a series, a 3-match series. So if you replace someone who has at least some experience of playing in English conditions, we may have lost the match terribly, really badly, but they got the 4-day experience of playing in English conditions, playing in test match pressure. So as far as the bowlers are concerned, Khurram Siraj and Mohammad Ali, both at least, they were thrashed, but they got some experience. So probably that is why they didn't replace them, or one of them at least, with Ubaid Shah. And then I would have probably replaced Rizwan and gotten the young keeper, Wari. But then, they probably thought, okay, Rizwan at least got a 40. He understands the conditions, and we want to equalize the test series. So maybe that's why they didn't go with that. But then I would have probably made 2 changes, or maybe I would have gotten an all-rounder, Emma Jamal maybe. But maybe I understand why they won't make wholesale changes and only just 1 for 1. And then Babar probably wants to go with more stable team than too many changes.
A good toss to win, though, with the overhead conditions, a green tinge wicket at Lords.
Yeah, I think they bowled much better. They should have gotten them out by, say, about 200 if the catches were held. But even then, we've got 9 wickets down. Pakistan's got 9 wickets down, and they bowled well, much better than Headingley. They bowled better lengths, more discipline. Well done to Pakistan. They bowled much better. I really wish, and I've been saying this 15, 20 years now, that slip fielding is very important. And I think it's true for England also, when they go abroad, or even when they're playing at home. And, the test series they were playing against New Zealand just a few months ago, if they fielded better, maybe they would have done well, particularly in the slips.
It was a real fielding mix from Pakistan. Two outstanding catches. Lots of talk on the TV about the slip fielders being too deep, and also some drop catches as well.
Yeah. There were lots of like you said, mixed fielding, because the catch that Salman took was just too good. That is why I was saying earlier that I would have probably picked him, because in that way he would have fielded the entire innings. And he's a very good slip fielder. He might have dropped Harry Brook last test match. But then even Ricky Ponting or Smith or anyone can drop a catch, or Root for that matter. And they keep dropping catches. It's not that they don't drop catches. But then, yeah, you're right, mixed bag fielding. And had they held their catches, maybe Pakistan would have been in a better position. But better effort though, I think, generally in the field.
You made an excellent start. England 30-odd for 3, then 80 for 4 at lunch, with both England's star batsmen, Joe Root and Harry Brook, both out.
Yeah, excellent start. And that is why I feel that we should have gotten England out by, say, 200. But once again, it does come down to dropping catches. Catches do win matches. These cliches are not just created out of the blue. They have a solid meaning. I'm a big fan of the cliches. So I do believe, and I think every fan believes that catches are extremely important. And a fast bowler or a bowler generally puts on a lot of hard work and sets up a batsman. And when that catch comes, you have to take it. If you drop it, then yeah, you could lose, your strength or your hold on the game. Pakistan's still lucky that we have England down on the match, say for 9 wickets down. They have to come back today and pick up that last wicket within the 15-20 runs. They can't let it slip to like 290. By 265, if they have England all out, then they have a chance. The batsmen got to apply themselves, bat better, understand that a first innings lead is extremely important. May it be just 50 runs, but it's important.
After lunch, Pakistan really exerted control over the whole game. You had England at 120 for 5, and England were at that stage going nowhere.
Yeah, I know Pakistan bowled really well. They must have had a discussion during lunchtime. They must have, talked amongst themselves that they're in a good position. And if we come back and bowl with greater discipline, good planning, maybe better fielding after lunch, they can really get a hold of the game. And if you have got to equalize the series, you got to play sessions well. You got to play planned sessions well, bowl accordingly or bat accordingly in those sessions to execute your plans better. And if you are able to do that, let's say about 75% of your plan, if you're able to execute it in a particular session, then you do end up in a better situation end of the day or end of that session.
Did they need the extra seamer? You only had 4 bowlers, and Jamie Smith then sort of got control of the innings, although he probably should have been caught on 19.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, that fielding error, but coming back to an extra seamer, absolutely. I mean, I keep saying, and I've been saying this like a broken record last 15, 20 years on television, on whenever I've written about these things, and I've written pretty frequently, and I've been on television maybe too often. So then I've said this, that, Pakistan need to play in places like Australia and England and New Zealand and South Africa. We need to go in with 4 seamers. It makes a hell of a lot of difference. I mean, the seamers know that they will have to bowl shorter spells, so they put in more in their spells. They bowl a little faster. They know it's a 5 or 6 over spell, and then someone else will come and take over. But psychologically, they know there are 4 of them, and the batters know that the pressure is going to be relentless. With 3 seamers, the batter always knows that, eventually they're going to get tired, and if he's still on the crease, he can cash on that opportunity, and that's what Jamie Smith did. So I definitely think that Pakistan's always not brave at all. They're very subdued approach of going with 3 seamers, and I don't approve of it one bit. I mean, I make no bones about it. It's a terrible approach to go with 3 seamers. It can cost you the match. It can cost you the series.
Yes, Mohammad Abbas bowled superbly, but he must always know that he's going to keep bowling. He has spells of 8 and 9 overs.
Yeah, and that's tedious. I mean, mentally, it's exhausting to know that you're not going to get some rest. There's no one backing you up. And ideally, when you play 4 seamers, the thing is that you've always got 1 or 2 seamers fresh to replace the ones who are already on the crease bowling a 6 or 7 or 5 over, 6 over spell. So those 2 also then put in more. The fresh ones also know they've got to put in the effort. And the captain has more to play with. He's got more to play around with. He's always got 2 fresh seamers. He knows which one to apply, and he can execute his plans better. I mean, I fail to understand why Pakistani captains are so defensive, and they choose always and always, whether they win or lose. That's another matter. They could win this test match or they can lose it. But they always go with this defensive mindset of playing just 4 bowlers, 1 spinner and 3 seamers. And it's quite ridiculous for me.
I know you shouldn't think of someone getting an injury, but if someone ever does, that really leaves you very open then, doesn't it?
yeah, then effectively just leaves you with just two seamers, which is ridiculous because injury is not something that doesn't happen. We saw yesterday Imam got injured, so a fast bowler could easily get injured, and it happens very often in the game. It's not like it doesn't happen. It happens every second test match. So if you got an extra seamer and one gets injured, you still have three. Right now, God forbid, if anyone gets injured, and there's a big chance when they're putting a big effort in 7, 8, 9 over spells, you'd only be left with two. And where does that leave you in the match? It leaves you out. 80% of it you probably lose there and then, psychologically, physically, and in reality, factually.
You must have been impressed, though, with the improvement in Muhammad Ali, 3 for 67.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali bowled really well. I think I'm a big fan of Muhammad Ali. I've seen him bowl up to 140 in Pakistan, in domestic and in PSL. And so I was wondering last test match, why is he not bowling those occasional one or two deliveries which are clocking 140 in the last test match at Headingley. So he's really improved. He's improved his line and length. He's more disciplined. He knows the areas to bowl. He's more comfortable at Lords. And I expected more of him because I think he's played a county season, so he should understand these conditions more. I actually expect more of Puram Shahzad also because I've seen him bowl better. But I think what I felt as a cricket analyst, as a commentator, I felt that he was overawed by the occasion last test match, and he seemed under pressure. And the English batsmen had a bit to do with that because they targeted him by taking him for boundaries, and then he got under pressure, and the whole match he was under pressure. But he did bowl well, better. But Muhammad Ali, I was quite impressed by yesterday.
Muhammad Ali is quite a character. He should be on the stage.
Yeah, he's got his three hat tricks. He's well educated, so he's he's an all rounder, not all rounder batting wise, but a good all round personality. And he knows how to use his three hat tricks, and they must have also had a talk, and they might have given him that role also to create that kind of pressure, because it's absolutely, Stefan, it's absolutely imperative in my eyes to be feisty when you're playing Test cricket. You cannot be a really friendly guy who go and shake the batsman hands after two deliveries. If you can't be a Shoaib Akhtar, at least be a Wasim Akram, who was really feisty, but wasn't a Shoaib Akhtar. But so I enjoyed that.
What I thought was ironic, just winding up our chat about day one, was that I don't know how many minutes it was before the close of play, but Jofra Archer hit a six off Mohammad Abbas into the pavilion, and then not many minutes later we were coming off a bad light.
I know, because this bad light thing is really, I mean, when you already lost a few hours because of light, and in a matter of just two balls, when the batsmen tail-enders actually hit you for a six, it cannot be within the matter of 6 balls or 4 balls. You cannot lose light so badly that you have to go off the field. There should be some leverage for that, and for the sake of the spectators who pay a top pound, I wouldn't say top dollar, but a top pound in England to watch these matches. And I mean myself, I paid on many occasions paid £50 for a ticket when I wasn't really covering a match. So I paid the ticket, so I know how much it, and it's well-earned money. So for the sake of the spectators, I think there should be some kind of solution for this bad light saga that we keep witnessing all the time.
I can assure you at Lord's now it's a lot more than £50. It's nearly all the tickets will be over 100.
No, I was talking about a few years ago. I was talking about 2018 when I watched the match there last. Actually, I was covering that match, but I know because some of my friends bought the ticket, yeah.
Let's look back, if you dare, briefly about the first test at Headingley, where Pakistan lost by an innings and 115 runs. To start with, going back before the test, what did you think to the selection of the side? And obviously you were missing skipper Babar Azam.
Well, that I think, to my mind, an informed Babar and a captain Babar missing was a huge thing. But I'm not going to say that, had Babar been playing, we would have won the match. No, I'm not going to go as far, but definitely it made a difference that he was missing. He was in great form in the West Indies just before this series started. So he was a key player and the captain. So that made a difference, a big difference. And then our batting line was indisciplined. We got some starts. Imam got a start. Shan got a start. Few other, I think, Rizwan got a start, and they all threw their wickets once they got the start. So that was not great. Once a senior batsman gets a start, especially a senior player, you cannot throw a start of 25, 30, 35, 40. You got to cash on, go look at an 80 first, and then if you 75, 80, you look at the 100. We didn't have any of the batsmen. We had some really silly shots. The shot that Imam played, he was fishing outside the off stump. He could have easily left that ball alone. He was playing really well, and from there, had he got an 80, or things could have been different. And then, of course, the bowling was indisciplined. We were bowler short. We're a bowler short in this Test match, as also like we just discussed, one bowler short, and then the catches didn't help. And tactically, Salman wasn't that strong. So we had a lot wrong in that Test match. But then we started well. We could have been in a better position had we held the catches yesterday, but we still are not in a bad position. So we need to quickly dismiss the English today and cash on. And the Headingley Test match was a total disaster for many reasons, like we discussed. The captain was missing, the indisciplined batting, the really bad bowling, and the catches. Catches are such a key. In spite of the bad bowling, had we taken the catches, say the Harry Brook catch, we could still be in some kind of fighting position at Headingley, but we were bad in every department.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
What was the reaction back home to the performance in the first Test?
Well, obviously people are very sad. There's a lot of anger. Pakistan, cricket is everyone's pride. We're in a nation whose happiness depends on cricket so much, and it's a fact that everyone knows. In Pakistan, one of the main entertainment areas for every household is cricket, and therefore a lot of the eyes are set on cricket. And if the cricketers don't do well, when they have a really shoddy performance or really terrible performance, of course, there is a lot of debate at home, in social gatherings and on television. And there's a lot of more pressure that's put on cricketers here in Pakistan when they do badly, rather than maybe Australia or England or South Africa. I'm not saying people don't put pressure on cricketers when they do badly in those countries, but here in Pakistan, or maybe in India also, there is a lot of pressure that is put on cricketers. And I think they deserve that pressure, because if you see the Headingley performance, these are professional cricketers. They should have done much better. They should have been better prepared. They make excuses. So, of course, then the anger multiplies and grows with those excuses. And then, of course, it's endless, the pressure and the debates on television. And so, I mean, it's really huge. It's a huge thing in Pakistan cricket. And doing badly, you're in a lot of trouble.
In theory, Pakistan were better prepared for England than England. They'd played 2 Test matches against the West Indies. You had a preparatory game at Beckenham. But is it the changing conditions that does make a lot of difference to a Pakistan side?
Yeah, I mean, the West Indies condition and the English conditions are not the same. And there's always the psychological thing that, if you're playing the first Test match in Headingley in the north of England, and it's overcast, the ball is going to move. And suddenly the batsmen are under a lot of pressure. They think it's the north and the ball is moving and it's overcast, and 1 or 2 wickets fall. And there is a lot. I do feel the Pakistani batsmen, some of them need to work on their technique, just their patience, their mindset. There's a lot of that also. So while whilst they had played 2 test matches in the West Indies, when you start the series in Headingley and the skies are overcast, the batsmen, the subcontinent pressure batsmen always take a lot of pressure.
What did you make of England in that first test match?
Well, I think England pretty good. The opposition wasn't top notch, but they were playing the first test match under Joe Root, his second stint as captain, English captain. So it was a good start for them. They did most things right. I mean, it wasn't their fault if the opposition wasn't up to scratch, but they did their end really well. They caught better. They batted better. They took opportunities better. I mean, they could have been on the mat had some of the catches been taken, but they were lucky that Pakistan's not such a good fielding side, and Pakistan is always not so great in the first test match, especially if you're starting up north at Headingley. So yeah, England took advantage of all that and put in a good performance. But I mean, I'd still look at Joe Root's performance as a captain when they're playing against a better test side, maybe say India or New Zealand or South Africa. I'll probably be judging them then, not so much on the Headingley test. I mean, it was a good performance. They beat us, and we deserve to be beaten the way we played. So it's a good start by Joe Root. But I like to judge his performance and the team's performance against a better, more well-oiled test side.
Looking ahead then to day 2 and the rest of this test match at Lord's, only one of England's top 6 got above 20. That was Cox. Who do you think at the moment is in the best position?
Well, Pakistan could be in a better position if they get the last wicket within the 10, 12, 15 runs, say by 260, ideally, and then the batting, then the real test comes, the batting. Because if the Pakistani seamers got movement, I think the English seamers will also get movement, and they're they've got more pace. So it won't be an easy thing. And it's a challenge for the Pakistani batters. And then we'll have to see how they respond to that. They will be in a better frame of mind because they would know that the bowlers didn't concede 400 runs. So they should be in a better frame of mind. And then captain coming back. So if we can manage a lead of 50, and that's a lot, asking a lot. I'm not saying it doesn't come automatically to me. I'm just saying if they do, and there's a big if, if they can manage a lead of 50, 60 somehow, once they get the English dismissed by 260 and they get to about 320 or something, they could be in a good position. Because in the second innings, maybe the Pakistani spinner would come slightly more into play.
I think the good news is that today, Friday, the weather forecast is better. It's not so good on Saturday. Are you confident then they can get 300?
Oh, I'm not confident at all. I'm just hoping. I'm just hoping. And one of the reasons is that I'm hoping that Babar is back in the side. He's the original captain. He will be able to inculcate some better thinking into the batsman, better shot selection, better psychological, environment into the batting lineup. And maybe have a pep talk with them where, you tell the top 6 batsmen that they've got a responsibility. They're playing for their country. There's a lot of pride involved. There, 25 crore people back home who are watching them and would be so happy if they do well. So he can put all that and the coaching staff with him could put some sense into the batting lineup, some more responsibility and better shot selection. Once again, I say, then, 320 is possible. But I'm certainly not confident. It is a lot of wishful thinking. It's like that song, we discussed Gwyneth Paltrow last time. So it's like that song, I'm the king of wishful thinking. And that's, by the way, one of my favorite songs also.
We've got to get Gwyneth Paltrow in the podcast, haven't we?
Certainly.
I'll be tagging her in on the show soon. What number do you think Babar will bat, 4 or 5?
Well, you can't say yet, but I think 4. Knowing Babar, he would want to bat up the order and control things from there, and whoever can go once notch lower, maybe Souchiki, and he can bat at number 4. But you never know. I believe number 4 because he would want to control things from as much up top as possible. But then we got other batsmen also. I mean, it's not just Babar. I have a lot of faith in Shan Masood to get a 50-60 and Abdullah Shafiq, who's in good form. And I don't know what's happened to the calf injury that Imam's gotten. I don't know where he's going to be batting. So the batting order right now is all up in the air, and we'll have to see what's happening with Imam and where he can bat.
But imperative you make a good start, because confidence could easily erode if, like in the last test, you lost a wicket with the first ball and you were soon 6 for 2.
Absolutely. I mean, any test match, if you get a start of 50-60, at least 50-60, and then number 3 comes when you're 60 on the board and just when 1 wicket down, he has absolutely very little pressure. And soon, if he plays positively, the score goes to, say, 100 runs and just 1 or 2 wickets down. It's a different thing than being 5 wickets down at 100. Certainly. So the start is the key. It's imperative. It's something Pakistan needs to get a good start from their 2 openers, whichever 2 openers they're playing, because I'm hinting towards the Imam situation.
You were certainly right about Abdullah Shafiq. He batted really well in that first test with a half century.
He's got a lot of quality. He's, like I said, previous broadcast with you just a couple of weeks ago, that he's a touch player. I compared him to Jayawardene and Mohammad Yusuf, and he certainly showed that class. So he's key. One thing I'd like to add about Abdullah Shafiq, whatever I've seen him in the domestic and in the PSL and the few test matches he's played, he's a very confident player. But that confidence has to be given to him. He needs that confidence to be given to him by his teammates, by his captain. And the runs he's just scored, that should also give him confidence. So if he's confident on the crease and he gets a good start of, say, 20, then he easily can get 60, 70. And that is a good score in England. And you never know, you get 100, then that's perfect. But he's good. He's in good form. He's a class player. So yeah, definitely one of the key players.
You have your fingers crossed then for this morning in the hopefully the sunshine at Lord's.
Absolutely. I mean, I would want Pakistan to do well, not just because I'm a Pakistani, but I think Pakistan, Sri Lanka, West Indies, these 3 teams have to do well. For the because I keep saying that Test match is the pinnacle form of the game. So if this, long may it live and continue, because it's just the most beautiful form of the game. So for the beauty and the competition to continue for like centuries, these 3 teams have to do well: Sri Lanka, West Indies, and Pakistan. And I'm so happy that Bangladesh is doing well. So not for the sake of Test cricket, I want Pakistan to do well. It's not just because I'm a Pakistani. I mean, yeah, that's got something to do with it, but mostly it's for the sake of the game, for more parity into the game, for more quality into the game. I want Pakistan to do well.
I think as a cricket fan, an English cricket fan, we want competitive Test cricket. So it would add a lot to this series if Pakistan could get a lead and test the England side.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, 1-1 going into the last Test match at Oval. I mean, fantastic. What a scenario that would. How much would it add to the game, to the interest in the game? People who lost interest suddenly would get up and say, oh, it's 1-1, so let's just watch this game. People who lost interest into the game will come back into the game. And, broadcasters would have more interest. And people like Stuart Broad, who's been discussed a lot in Pakistan, suddenly it'll be nice discussion with him also. There'll be some banter in the commentary box also. So at every level, a 1-1 is in the best interest of the game. I'm an English cricket fan also. I mean, if Pakistan's not playing and England's playing against someone else, I always want England to win. But if Pakistan's playing, of course I favor Pakistan. So the thing is that I want Pakistan to do well, and for the interest of the game, for the sake of the game.
We're so used to ending the summer at the Oval. Next test, the 3rd test on starting on the 9th of September. We're going off to Edgbaston.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. It would be great if we go 1-1, different pitch, more Pakistani support. And I mean, it'd be great for the game. And so much interest, series, suddenly Edgbaston becomes a series decider. And but for that, Pakistan's got a lot of hard work to do in the next 4 days. It's not going to be easy. I mean, England's not going to let you go just like that. So yeah, Pakistan's going to do a lot of hard work in the next 4 days.
But I'm sure you'd agree today is a pivotal day in the series.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is, because we had a good first day. We could have had a better first day had we taken the catches, etc. But we still had a good first day. So if we can back that up with another good day, there are 3 sessions in the game. If you can win at least 2 sessions, ideally we'll win all 3. But if you can win 2 sessions in the game and be on the 3rd day, which is the moving day in a test match cricket, if you're 30% ahead in the game, that'll be great. So it's very, very important second day today.
Well, I hope you're right as a cricket fan. I'm going to the test match on Saturday, where the weather forecast is not quite as good as today. Thank you again for joining me on the Paddock and the Pavilion, Leena. And we're going to catch up at the end of the series when hopefully we'll be reporting on an exciting 3-match series.
Absolutely, I hope so. And, if it's 1-1 going into Edgbaston, it'd be great. Podcast the next one. I hope so. And it's always great fun talking to you. We talk about not just cricket, but king of wishful thinking and Gwyneth Paltrow. And I hope you can get her one of these podcasts or just get a comment from her. So yeah, it's always great fun and looking forward to the next one.
We mustn't forget Pakistan's lucky ground is Lord's.
Yes, it is. It's lucky, and we hope that they can cash on some of the luck we got in 2018 and 16. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Paddock and the Pavilion, the only podcast which covers horse racing and cricket. With me, Stephen Wallis. With over 400 episodes, you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and on our YouTube channel. Thanks once again for listening to The Paddock and the Pavilion.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.